Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
I'm like, okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
Hey everyone, welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast, SmackDown Recap Edition. We are your hosts, Kyle Tyson and Mr. RN.
What's good, boss man?
Man, just trying to muster up the energy this morning to do the show. I'm really kicking myself. I gave myself 15 extra minutes in bed, which means I skipped on the trip to the store to get me some coffee. Yeah. I had to make a choice this morning. I think I made the wrong one.
I'll be honest with you. At this point, like my body's so like used to getting up. Like I was already up, ready to go. I'm like, I never sleep in. Like,
No, this is the earliest I've been out of bed in probably a year.
no, we got up this early a couple weeks ago and did the show on the Saturday too.
Yeah. You guys, we're a wrestling recap show. You can catch us live on Twitch following Raw, SmackDown, and Dynamite on twitch.tv/putting you over. If you like to watch NXT recaps, we cover those on Wednesdays as well over on twitch.tv/SmackDown podcast. And of course, you can find any of these streams on YouTube, youtube.com/SmackDraw podcast. Hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you never miss one of our shows. Oh God, RN, this is gonna be a rough one. I'm telling you. It's different when you're talking to somebody on a call, and then all of a sudden you got to go into presentation mode. Get ready to talk about SmackDown. But it wasn't. It honestly, SmackDown was. It was all right though. It was actually a pretty good show, I think.
Yeah, it was at its core. I mean, it was a solid show. Like it just wasn't anything. Nothing popped off that was like surprising or exciting.
Yeah. Well, Bianca Belair finally made her choice, and even then, they managed to overdo and make that all contrived.
Always.
Yeah. WWE cannot help themselves sometimes, like trying to make something out of something. What's the old adage? Less is more.
Yeah. They ruined her sign point chance. That's all they did. They literally ruined it. Like just let them point at the sign and keep him moving, bro.
Oh, man. Before we kick this off, man, y'all, make sure to support WrestlingNewsWorld.com. Bookmark the webpage, read all the articles, man. A lot of talented guys over there. They work very hard, and they're gracious enough to let us be the exclusive recap podcast on their webpage. So make sure to check them out. And then lastly, we have a Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a place where you can support creators like us. Head on over there. We have reward tiers. We'll hook you up with some stickers, t-shirts. I have an episode of Unpopular Wrestling Opinions coming up. You can go ahead. One of the rewards tiers will let you record video opinions where you can just send a video of yourself giving a hot take on pro wrestling, and then we'll dissect it and see if you actually have a good take or if we're not so much a fan. But with that being said, man, let's kick off the show, RN. Got a promo from Roman Reigns following the Elimination Chamber. He says he was having pretty much a perfect night, and it was spoiled by one Edge. Edge coming out and spearing him after his match with Daniel Bryan. Speaking of which, Bryan comes out, says that Roman essentially, backstage, they don't really think he's a real champ because instead of main eventing the Chamber pay-per-view, he decided to come out on the second match because Bryan had just wrapped up, and it was a pretty cowardly thing to do. At this point, Bryan issues a challenge for Fastlane. Of course, we can't just have a feud between Edge and Roman run all the way to Mania and get nice and heated. We have to have a stopgap, and that's what they look like they're trying to do before Roman can answer Bryan. Jey Uso beats him up, and they leave, setting up the main event. Jey Uso taking on Daniel Bryan.
And the other issue I have with this is like, why wouldn't you save this for after Edge?
Yeah,
and this is the one everyone wanted anyway.
Well, they did this back in 2016, didn't they? When Roman won the Rumble. Everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to win. And so they met up. I think it was Fastlane. If it wasn't Fastlane, it was called Roadblock. It was the same pay-per-view.
Something.
Yeah, it's the same pay-per-view. It's the last one before WrestleMania. It's weird because you take the story is Edge versus Roman, right? And that goes all the way to Mania. But because WWE has to put a pay-per-view every 3 weeks, you get Fastlane, and now we need a little mini story to interrupt this Edge story. Like, you know, so you can't even go all in with Edge and Roman. And then by the time Fastlane is done, it often can make the story feel rushed. Not enough time to breathe.
And the worst part, and they could have still incorporated this with the Edge stuff. They could have made it a tag team match. They could have did anything to continue the Edge Roman thing and still get this little mini shit with Daniel Bryan that, you know, will kind of follow after Edge is done with Roman. But no, like you said, they always overthink everything. They always panic is what I think it really is. 90% of the time is they're scared somebody's going to do something or get something away from them. Like, bro, like AEW's not on y'all's level. Impact, no one like who are y'all? Who are they always so like afraid is going to take something away from them from? That's what it always feels like to me. Like it's fear booking all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, it does. It's sometimes like it feels like you're just, you can't go too long without having a pay-per-view. And it's kind of like you're in the sales industry like me. It's kind of like where salesmen fall victim to silence. They feel like if there's a moment of silence, they have to keep talking and they stumble over their own feet. When really you should just take a step back, let everything play out. You know, don't do nothing because things are going to work themselves out. And then at the end, you got WrestleMania. So, yeah, it's silly. We might still get the tag match. There is a stipulation that was made, and that was that if Daniel Bryan is able to defeat Jey Uso, then Daniel Bryan will get a title match at Fastlane. So that was set up. Backstage, Jay's apologizing to Roman for speaking on his behalf and taking charge. Roman says, "You got nothing to apologize for as long as you can go back up your word," which I thought was a good touch. Good touch. And then the obvious in all of this is Edge. Edge backstage, like, what the hell? I have my title match and you're trying to have someone cut in line. So he's going off on Adam Pearce, as he should be. And Adam Pearce essentially just says, "Hey, sorry, man, hands are tied. You know, you get a title match one way or another."
The thing about this, though, that I like is this is the most realistic shit they've done with these, like, feuds going into Mania that I've ever seen. Like, this is what a person really would be like if I won the Rumble. I'm supposed to get the best champ, the best match, and be in the main event. It's clearly Roman. And now you motherfuckers are throwing the dice with Daniel Bryan, who we all know could beat him. He beat 3 legends in one night at a WrestleMania. So now you're throwing this in front of me before, and like that would make me pissed too.
I love Adam Pearce's response. Like he's like, well, I mean, they went out there and they booked the match. It's like, Adam Pearce, you're the official. Like you, everything has to go across your desk. What do you mean you can't just be like, you can't let the wrestlers call their own matches and determine their own title matches? That's your job.
And that part, though, is kind of like a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because he's not officially the authority figure. So you can sneak bullshit like this in. You know what I'm saying? But like also, too, it's like the manager at a job being okay with somebody just saying like, "All right, I'm taking tomorrow off. Talk to you later." Like, no. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, put a PTO request in, fucker.
Alpha Academy taunts Ray and Dominic before their match, making it official heel. Otis is heel. They just run a recap of Otis destroying Rey Mysterio last week. The tag match ends up just fantastic stuff, man. What a short, simple, but really good tag match. You have Chad Gable getting his stuff in there. Chad Gable and Dominic Mysterio have insanely good chemistry in the Fire. Dominic looked like a top talent on the planet last night in the instances that he was in the ring. He's got a hell of a hot tag.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Gable does fall to a double 619. Otis makes the save. At that point, Otis just runs wild. You get a World's Strongest Slam on Rey Mysterio. He does the second rope splash to pick up the win. Cool part about this match was last week, it really seemed like Chad Gable didn't really care if they were picking up a win, you know? He just wanted to unleash that killer that's in Otis. This week, now that the killer is released, he's helping Otis take a step back. Don't get yourself DQ'd going off, you know, in the corner and stuff.
Coaching.
Yeah. So he's actually coaching now that we have this killer, which is kind of a funny dynamic because it's like in the tag match, if Gable's not in the ring, he's like the manager.
Right.
You know, he plays the manager.
Which is why I think they need a manager. Like, don't get me wrong, like Gable's more than capable of handling himself on the mic.
Yeah.
But I feel like you said, like this position that they have, if they had like a manager or somebody to kind of reel them in, Malcolm Bivens maybe.
It wouldn't hurt,
like,
man. It wouldn't hurt to give them. Do you think they stick with like an America theme? I know Otis isn't like red, white, and blue, but you know, obviously Gable with the American Alpha.
But shit, even they weren't really red, white, and blue. Remember, they had all those weird ass colors like neon green and shit and everything.
That's true.
I wouldn't mind them going back to that and being just American Alpha.
I do kind of like Alpha Academy because then it'll lend Gable to have the shtick. He's my student,
right?
You know,
give him a stable then.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'm trying to think of like who's floundering around right now on SmackDown.
Everybody. Everybody not Roman and Daniel Bryan.
Leave it in the chat. Who would you guys like to see join up with Chad Gable and Otis in this little makeshift stable?
The main thing, though, is Dominic. Like, he is, like you said it last night in the chat, like, he doesn't look like he's only been wrestling for a year.
Yeah. The dude is buttery smooth in the ring.
Yeah.
Like and he's innovative. He had a cool little like almost like a wheelbarrow Hurricanrana like move
thing. Yeah,
launching Gable into the corner. Never seen that move before, and here Dominic is pulling it off like he's been doing it for years.
Well, another thing is too, like, he's big.
Like
he's way bigger than he's at least way taller than Gable and was doing those types of moves on him like he was the small guy. You can tell that it's just in his blood. Like,
yeah.
This is what he was born to do.
There's no other excuse. I mean, Grant, don't discredit the kid. It's not like he hasn't probably been working hard his whole life. But yeah, this guy, he definitely has it in his blood. Someone else with something in their blood, Apollo Crews, has a Nigerian royalty, excuse me, in his blood. What'd you think of the whole little gimmick shift we got?
This is what he was on the Indies. He was Uha Nation on the Indies. It's the exact same thing. He played like a Nigerian prince. Like of course, his weirdly WWE paint job on it, but this is literally what his gimmick was on the Indies. Hopefully, we get to see some more his more deadly, like messed up moves and like crazy shit he would do, like on the Indies. But like this is literally what he was on the Indies.
It's cool, man. He goes off about his heritage. His grandpa had 5 wives. That's who he'd come home to.
Fire.
His new ring gear is all Nigerian like flag colors.
Yeah.
He says they represent wealth, dominance, and power. I really like this aspect of Apollo Crews. I bet it's gonna definitely. I'm not gonna say definitely because you can't ever say definitely in WWE.
No.
But it feels like the most official push like the guy has ever received, giving him a change, letting him unveil that character, and then him looking confident in the character. It was kind of jarring hearing him go to his accent at the end of the promo. That was so. It's. I guess when I said it, I didn't mean that his accent. It's not that it didn't, I guess, come across authentic to me because I mean, if that's his true accent, it's his true accent. It's just weird to speak with one accent and then also like just at the very ass end of your promo decide to change your accent like that.
Yeah,
that was
it
odd.
threw me off too. It threw me off too. Like you didn't need it. I get what he was trying to go for, but you really didn't need it. And like I said, that promo was actually, to me, it was going good until he did that. Like it was actually probably the best damn Apollo Crews promo we've seen since he's been with the company, not just with SmackDown, like NXT and all that shit too. And like, I'm glad he's not the smiley nigga no more. Like, 'cause I like that's their things with black wrestlers. You're either smiling, dancing, or a thug. Like, you only get those three. So I'm glad he's over it. And like I said, I know you think he's boring in the ring, which it's not that he's boring in the ring. It's like his good moves that aren't boring. He only does those. So now it is boring in the ring.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping as a heel, though, he holds back on some of the flying and just goes with this power shit and just destroys people like he has been doing.
Yeah, just give a little shift up in the ring. You know, it's not I hate it. It's sometimes you look at something that's so polished and effortless, it just becomes even.
I agree. I totally agree with what you're saying. Like even with the standing back flips and all the stuff that he does, like he only does those 2 or 3 things every time he's in the ring. So
yeah.
Even though it's dope for a 250-pound man to be able to do those things, if that's all you see, it is boring. It's like it's Cena. It's like the 5 moves of doom with Cena, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, there you go. Apollo Crews attacks Nakamura before their match during Nakamura's entrance. This leaves Nakamura, you know, having to try and play catch up the whole time. He just can't do it. He does. He ends up falling to Apollo Crews. I believe I kind of missed it, but I'm pretty sure that's how the match went. Is just Apollo Crews just had a leg up on him the whole time.
So much for that push for Nakamura after the gauntlet match.
You know what they said? It was that whole thing in the gauntlet match was intended for Cesaro, I guess. I can't remember why, but I think Cesaro had not re-signed with WWE. So they wanted, just in case he did anything drastic like left him, they didn't want to give him that push. So they gave it to Nakamura in the gauntlet match. And then he signed his contract and they went back to Cesaro. So yeah, Nakamura was never intended to have a push. Apparently.
But does that not sound like some WWE shit?
Yeah. Someone else that's not getting a push is Liv Morgan getting destroyed by Tamina.
When did they ever get a push?
With the world's softest looking sidewalk slam. Did you catch that?
Yeah. Oh,
that looks so safe.
The worst part of this match is like when it first got started, like they were like squared up and Tamina was waiting on Liv Morgan to punch her. And so she like kind of like stepped and went back like she got punched, but Liv Morgan never threw the punch.
Yeah.
So they had to do it again.
The match was, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know who the feud is involving. Where's Billie Kay this week? But Liv Morgan, yeah, she has a match with Tamina. She gets almost no offense, and they give her like a little babyface comeback spot, right, but it gets stamped out pretty with ease. I
feel like that they're trying to build up Tamina and Natty as a tag team.
Probably because they are low key trying to build up their women tag teams,
right?
But yeah,
I'm not mad at that use of Natty, honestly.
Yeah,
it kind of dials down how much we have of her, and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like, and I think that's a good matchup, honestly. Tamina and Natty versus her and Shayna, like they're gonna beat the shit out of each other, whether it's on purpose with Natty and Shayna and safe looking, or by accident with Tamina and Nia accidentally knocking each other's faces off. So I wouldn't be mad at that matchup.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
You know I hate Natty.
Reports came out that Natty and Shayna Baszler were too good in the ring back when Shayna first came up on Main, and Vince was like, "You guys just look like you're fighting." It's like, oh damn it, Vince. It's like you're right, man. We don't like our simulated combat to look realistic.
Right. That's the part that I hate about them. Like they go out of their way to sign these like UFC people and like Ultimate you know what I'm saying, like mixed martial arts people, and then they go out of their way to not make them look like mixed martial artists when they get there. Like Shayna, Matt Riddle, all these dudes that could literally probably kill 90% of the roster with their bare hands at one time. They make them look like straight and total idiots, like they don't know what the hell's going on when they get them. Like, and it makes no sense to me. Like,
you got to do it the WWE way. Shout out to Justin Heel Tactics. Thanks for the follow, my friend. Following this, okay, so we got the Bianca segment here. She's in the ring, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. The whole segment is about who's she going to pick. They run video packages for Asuka and Sasha Banks, hyping up who she could pick. Some people are upset they didn't even run a video package for Io, make it even like option. When just last year Charlotte wins the Rumble and picked the NXT champion. It's weird that they really are not consistent when they choose for NXT to be canon and then not canon.
Right.
You know, it is
so
odd.
like I'm not mad at it because like what would that do for her going back down?
Well, it's not that I'm not mad at I never would want her to pick Io, but it'd give Io a little bit of a rub to be like, okay, you're an option for a WrestleMania main event. Right. You know, even if
but that's the thing though, like you said it. They're not consistent enough. Like they should have had her involved from the beginning, and they should have had Bianca going back down to NXT like they did with Charlotte. Like they don't know what they want at any time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
one thing that it does look like they want is more Reginald. Because before
is
Bianca
Reginald with Sasha? Like what? Like I'm like
confused. No idea. I have no idea. All I know is if I'm Carmella, that dude is fired. Like,
but what I was thinking is he like trying to get her to pick Asuka so she can get the hell out of there, so Carmella can have another shot? Like maybe. In my head, that's the only way you could justify what the hell he's been doing every week.
You know, I would agree with that, except that's genuinely clever.
Right. It makes too much sense.
That makes too much sense, man, for them to do it. Yeah, Reginald comes out. He's just absolutely smitten with Sasha Banks, and he's telling Bianca, essentially, don't pick Sasha. You'll lose. You'll lose if you pick Sasha, you know? To which point Sasha Banks comes out. Reginald doesn't speak for me. Sasha, it's just like a weird dynamic. Like I honestly like, I don't know, man. I'm becoming less and less of a fan of Sasha Banks on the mic. Like I don't know what it is. I'm probably alone in this camp.
No, you're not. No, and yeah. I was hoping you would say that. You know what it is? They're walking that fucking line that they always do with her, where they don't want her to be full blown heel, and they don't want to. But she's terrible at being a face. So it's like you never really know what the hell she is or what the hell she's talking about because she's never like standing on what she is. And like they just won't just realize Sasha Banks is a heel. Stone Cold even said it. When your greatest wrestler of the modern era even says it to her face on your network, he almost said you sucked as a baby face. I just love you more as a heel. Like he almost said that.
Was that on the Broken Skull session?
Yeah, on the Broken Skull session. Oh, it's fucking fire. And like it made me feel some type of way about her, but like in a good way. Like I hate her in a good way.
Yeah. My wife just texted me. She's like, "Where are you?" I guess I forgot to tell her I was doing a podcast this morning. Anyways, get your podcasts in the chat. I said, "What's good?" Yeah, man. No, I agree, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Like just pull the trigger already with her. I haven't been convinced that she's a babyface ever since she turned her hair blue. At no point. But either way, it was made official. Bianca Belair gets to pick Sasha Banks. She points at the WrestleMania sign. I hope she goes there. I hope they win, man. I hope Bianca wins. I think Bianca is where they really need to just move all of just go all in on Bianca at this point. That she is the next evolution of the women's roster. Like the 4 Horsewomen took the women's roster and women's wrestling in general to new heights that it never before seen. But at this point, there's nothing left for those 4 women to achieve.
No.
Other than, cool comebacks like For Becky Lynch, it'd be cool to see her come back and do her thing. But to tell me like Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte have already accomplished like everything shy of taking a men's title at this point. Go all in on Bianca. Make her a true star, man. Put that spotlight on her and let her take this division to new heights, man. That's.
And my thing is too, like she's of this generation now. Like, not saying that Sasha and them aren't, but they really aren't. They've been on the roster for damn near 10 years now. So like, Bianca is of this generation. Her and Montez both. The TikToking and shit, and the fashion, how they talk, everything. Like they are what's now. Like you need to pull the trigger on this now.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can't go back if it doesn't work out. It ain't like Sasha and Bayley aren't still on the damn roster on SmackDown. So it's like you have insurance if you need it. Pull the trigger on it.
Yeah. Think they're pulling the trigger on this Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin tag team? What the heck was this?
I wouldn't be mad at it, but like how the match turned out, like I don't know. Like
so Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin are actually having a pretty fun backstage segment where Sami is convincing Corbin how they'll make a great tag team, but Corbin's just more aggravated with Sami's cameramen, and then Sami trying to tell him what to do. He says, I agree with you, but get these cameras out of my face and never tell me what to do again. And they go and have a match with the Street Profits. Perfect chance to let the Street Profits skid down the card a little bit, build up a couple other tag teams to face off against the Dirty Dogs, which, dude, I still can't get over that name. I hate that.
I'm not mad at it.
I hate the name, man.
It's so fucking absurd and stupid. Like, I kind of like it. Like, you know how I am. Like, I'm weird about things. Like, some shit, like, it's like you would think that would make me pissed off too. But, like, every once in a while, like, some, like, weird, stupid shit, like, I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
They look like some old ass dads that would be like,
they really do,
talking
man.
shit and like call each other, you old dirty dog, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see them like the older dudes that I coach with, bro. Like that's who they remind me of. Even backstage when they were drinking, watching the Street Profits, bro. Like I don't know, like it makes me laugh. Like I kind of like it. I'm not.
I don't know, but yeah, this would have been a perfect chance to give a new tag team a win. Sami and Corbin really don't have shit going on. Now that Sami's out of the Intercontinental picture, he's got nothing going on. Same with Corbin. It would have been cool to see him pick up a win. It didn't happen, but maybe that's part of the story. This is their first match together.
Right. Well,
Corbin,
my thing is too is like the Street Profits been doing nothing but losing, so like they needed a win.
That's
but
true.
I understand what you were saying. I wish it was against somebody else so they could pick up wins, and then like the Street Profits would be the gatekeeper to the titles, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but the Street Profits needed a win. They haven't won this year.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, Sami and Corbin, this is their first match together. You could easily chalk it up to just
the cameraman.
Yeah, the cameraman getting in Corbin's way. Montez Ford has a cool spot. So I'm telling you, WWE is watching AEW and vice versa. Because what are the odds that on the last episode of Dynamite we get a spot where Rey Fenix leaps over Jake the Snake, and then WWE's like, okay, I see that. We'll have Montez Ford leap over Sami Zayn in like the same exact diving spot,
right?
Just 2 days apart. If it's a coincidence, cool. And I'm not throwing shade.
No,
I'm just saying I like those little Easter eggs. To
think that they're not watching each other, despite what WWE says, is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, it has to be, man.
And Montez is WWE's Rey Fenix, honestly.
Dude's got vertical leap like crazy, man. Anyways, this does allow Montez Ford. He ends up hitting a frog splash, picks up the win for his team.
I like Dawkins, his new finisher. Like I thought he was gonna do like a Dirty Deeds or something, and then he turned into like a neck breaker.
Yeah, he lifts someone up like the first part of the paradigm shift.
Yeah,
where he elevates somebody into the air like the DDT, but then he floats it over into a neck breaker. Yeah, that was actually pretty dope. I didn't realize like that was new. I just figured I haven't been paying attention.
No, he normally does the like picks him up and just like slams down like the D'Lo Brown used to do, whatever.
Oh yeah. I got you. Minus the head shaking.
Mm-hmm.
D'Lo Brown was like my dude growing up. I just thought D'Lo Brown was like the coolest guy ever.
The fucking one of my good friends used to always call me that. But yeah, no, I loved the European Championship. Like, come on, that was dope.
Yeah,
a black dude with the European Championship.
It's like the only notable European champ that I recall.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan backstage being interviewed drops the hot take, the UWO, that he believes that he has a better chance of beating Roman Reigns than Edge does. I kind of agree with him.
I'm not mad at that statement.
Yeah. And Edge, of course, is within earshot, comes in. He doesn't like it that much. Just a little animosity. Edge poses the question. He says, well, if you do beat him, who do you think wins between you and me? And Bryan, like a true politician, just says, I'm going to keep that to myself.
and like I said, this is, again, realistic as hell and makes sense. Like, there should be animosity between them. Like, bro, like, you're fucking up my stuff. Like, I came back from an injury. I won the Royal Rumble. The match is me and Roman, and you're coming back to throw a damn monkey wrench in it, bro. Like,
if someone's going for a world title in any other sport, what's one thing that they do not need leading up to that? Distractions. You don't need distractions. And right now, Daniel Bryan is a distraction from Edge's title run or his road to the belt. Yeah. We'll see how it goes, though. Seth Rollins in the ring. Dude, Seth Rollins reminds me of Tom Hanks in Big. Like, just a kid who instantly becomes an adult and has money to buy whatever clothes he wants to buy. Because that dude comes out.
That shit is fire, bro. Some leather suits, bro. Like, where do you get it? Where is a leather suit store at? Or is that even leather? Like, it's so weird.
He wears like a suit jacket with no shirt on under it and stuff. Like, I don't know.
But it's is that leather? Like, is it pleather? Like, what type of material? Like, I've never seen that many shiny suits.
I do want to know where this wardrobe is coming from and if he keeps it. Like, because this before too long, if they keep doing this every week, he comes out with some crazy stuff. I just want to see that collection at some point, like wherever you're keeping all of those clothes, man.
Oh, like I don't care what anybody says. I think they've all been fired.
That'd be
like,
the coolest
they are
closet.
so ridiculously over the top and like makes no fucking sense. But they've been fired. Like, where do you get that many leather suits from? Like, I didn't even know that was a such thing. It's like, I knew you could get like women had like those leather suits and shit. Like 3 weeks in a row, he's came out with like a legit leather tuxedo.
Where's the Thunderdome located? They probably have like a leather suit emporium down there somewhere.
They have to, bro. Like 3, and those aren't even really like suits. They're like tuxedos. Like 3 leather tuxedos in a week in a row. Like,
oh man,
shit's fire, bro.
It's so funny, man. Yeah, Seth Rollins is cutting his promo. Embrace the vision. Cesaro comes out, jeans and no t-shirt. Oh God, just looking like a hell of a man. I'm not gonna lie, like Cesaro, it just oozes man. And before he beats Seth Rollins' ass, Seth Rollins kisses up to him, asks him like, you know, how do you get so far in your career but always come up short? Says you lack that killer instinct. He pleads with Cesaro, says, if you embrace the vision, join me, I'll bring that killer instinct out of you, will elevate you to world champ status. You know, he's like, I've already done everything. You know, it's my turn to bring you guys up, which genuinely, that's a good guy thing. Like, there's nothing heel in that statement.
Literally, not. It's like, that's the part that like blew me off. I'm like, why would Cesaro be mad at any of the shit that he's saying? He's saying everything the internet says. And your own company that you work for says, and he's offering help.
It's like Seth Rollins embodied Twitter for
literally
for that promo. But tells Cesaro, even realistically, he's like, hey man, don't even give me an answer now. He's like, you can take a week, take 2 weeks before you give me your answer.
I wish this had happened, to be honest. Like, because Cesaro's never really been with anybody that was at the top of the card. Like,
was
whenever
like above his level.
Yeah, whenever he was with somebody, it was another jobber like him, or even like Sheamus was falling down the card when they got together. Like, he had fell out of the main event picture. But like Seth Rollins, it doesn't matter what he does. You know, at any time he could be the world champ or in the main event.
Anytime. And it
doesn't matter. And no one's gonna be like, oh, why is he there? Like, you know it, you expect it, you see it every time he comes out. Like, I wouldn't have been mad if he would have been one of his new disciples. Like, and he did like become like a manager, sort of. And then they had a thing after he got to the belt, or even if he got him to the belt. Like, I feel like that would have been kind of dope. But
I mean, the other side to that coin is you're gonna get a badass feud between them, and we're gonna get the closest we can get to 5-star matches in WWE probably.
Oh yeah,
Cesaro drops Seth Rollins. I love that Seth didn't drop the mic, so as Cesaro's setting up the swing, you can hear Seth just yelling at him. He's like, "No, no!" Just like,
that's the difference between Seth and all these other guys.
Yeah.
Like all those little bitty things.
Yes.
I guarantee you, nobody told him to keep the mic.
Oh man! So you hear him screaming at Cesaro to stop it. Cesaro starts spinning him, and
was that not the best swing ever?
Mid-spin, speaking on those little things, Seth Rollins manages to like let his suit glide off the top of his head. So he loses his top in the spin. Cesaro stops, realizes, nah, that's not enough, cranks it back up, then goes like extra hard. Like,
that's how I used to do my little cousins when they were little, man. Just chuck them.
Yeah, drop Seth. It was a hilarious and honestly probably segment of the whole night was Seth Rollins and Cesaro. It was genuinely a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, but no, like I said, the other side of that coin, instead of joining him, is like I said, this feud. It could equally elevate him, just as much.
Well, maybe we could get them joining afterward. Like Cesaro gets it. Like he's like, damn, all these matches have been main event status. I have been at the top of the card fighting you. Let's see what you got. Let's see if you can do what you said. Like I wouldn't be mad at that either. Yeah,
just hopefully Cesaro comes out on top of the whole thing. You don't need Seth Rollins pointing out the fact that that Cesaro always comes up short just for Cesaro to come up short in their feud if he's a babyface.
Right.
Yeah, it does nobody any favors.
It's to me like I don't think that Seth's the type of person, I don't think that he would have a problem with that. Like I think that I don't think he took this feud to come out on top, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We get the main event of the night. Jey Uso taking on Daniel Bryan. Story of the match is Jey Uso is working over Daniel Bryan's knee because I believe it was hurt in the chamber match. Yeah. So he continues working on that, which allows the match to stay fairly level, because you would expect Daniel Bryan, even though Daniel Bryan, I believe, has lost to Jey Uso during Uso's main event run. You still would expect Daniel Bryan to be a clear favorite in the match, so it kind of levels him out. During the whole melee, it goes outside, and they manage to get themselves counted out, after which Roman comes out, jumps Daniel Bryan, spears him, guillotines him, and that's what closes SmackDown. My question is, where now? Because the commentary team, they said that neither man won. They kind of alluded to that this doesn't eliminate the option of him still getting the title shot.
Right.
I'm hoping it's what you said earlier in the show, is it just works its way to a tag match, keeps the belt off, and Bryan and Edge, the belt gets disregarded, and you give them a tag match at Fastlane. Probably not. They'll probably still go forward with the title shot, but yeah, man. That was SmackDown.
Oh, like I said, overall it was a quick show, but I mean it had some stuff in it, so I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it was breezy. Like I said, I'll probably go back and watch the Seth Rollins and Cesaro thing again, just because that was so damn funny. But no, it's a good one. It's just like I said, it's not so much like the show, like where I just always get this like bad vibe leading into the stupid Roadblock, Fastlane, whatever the stopgap is between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. It really should just go Royal Rumble to determine the first number one contender, Elimination Chamber to determine the second number one contender, then WrestleMania.
Right.
Because Royal Rumble literally plays a story into Mania. So does the Chamber. Like, Fastlane plays no story going into Mania. It's Fastlane's whole purpose is we might just change everything that we've been setting up for these last 2 months. And that's never good. Like, it's yeah, man, it just feels severely out of place. In my opinion, it is consistently the worst pay-per-view of the year. Not Fastlane itself, just whatever they put between Chamber and Mania. I always hate whatever pay-per-view
because it's meaningless. And like the one year they tried to get cute and did the shit with Goldberg and Kevin Owens, but like for the most part, the matches on the show mean absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's like I said, if your overall feeling is the pay-per-view doesn't matter, then you care less about the programming leading into that pay-per-view. It's almost kind of like subtly saying like, it's because from Royal Rumble to Mania is always regarded as the most hyped people get for pro wrestling, like the biggest opportunity to bring in casual fans, and it's like I said, if you have a pay-per-view that's just turning people off, like what are you accomplishing? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But that's the show, man. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, shout out to Justin Heel Tactics for following the show. Get Your Podcast for stopping by. Hey, Extreme Stone, you tuning in right at the ass end of our recap show. Appreciate you stopping in. What do we have coming up? We have nothing going on this weekend, right? It's next weekend is the AEW pay-per-view, right?
Oh yeah. Next weekend is Revolution.
Next weekend is Revolution. Okay.
Yep.
So I guess we'll catch y'all on Monday for our Raw recap with RN and Katie Bebe. And make sure to follow the show on Twitter at SmackRawPod. Very close to unveiling the next episode of UWO. Very, very close. So stay tuned with that. Damn, why is my watch going to vibrate and then not show me what the hell it was? Sorry, guys. Anyways, until next time, y'all have a good one.